Well, first of all, thank you for all three of you coming and your testimony. I didn't get the chance to hear it, and so, we've been running back and forth doing all these votes and everything. But I've got to just tell you just this. For one of you, Kevin, we've become real friends, and what an incredible man this man is. I've had him in my office in Charleston, West Virginia, in the governor's office, and I had the opportunity to be the governor of the state of West Virginia for 8 years. And I can tell you that I can speak very frankly and say, I don't know that anybody's been in that office that's been more credible than this man. And so I appreciate our friendship. He's done every single thing that he said he would do, even to the point in time when he called West Virginia a winner state. And I would say just this: if West Virginia is a winner state, I love the contest of ball games and everything. But absolutely, we can't possibly say we're winning. We're absolutely winning when it comes to China. I don't see how anybody can say that and say that in a fair way. Now, I can honestly say just this too. One of his companies, Prime 6, and I hope I'm not stepping out of my bounds and everything, but he came and in November of last year, we were sitting, in a location in Fairmont, West Virginia. And he said, we're going to make this a go, and we're going to make it a go now. And I think they're scheduled for June, from November to June. And absolutely, they're pulling it off. And so, like I said, as far as credibility, he has not only my vote, but many in the great state of West Virginia. So with all that being said, Kevin, as your friend, I would just ask just this, because we've got a lot of elderly people in West Virginia, and those retirees are absolutely being bombarded in a lot of ways. I thank you for bringing awareness, all three of you, awareness to a real problem in this great country that we know about, but we don't seem to do anything about it. Kevin just a minute ago said just that. We know about it. For God's sakes, a living, this can't be that hard. We know about it, and we don't do anything about it. Well, I really don't get it. Like I said, I'm a new kid on the block here, but I'm a kid that abounds in common sense and logic and goodness and truth. And so I've got just one question, and it's just an echo of the same question, but it just basically says this. It says, the lack of transparency, financial representation, ties to human rights violations, and scams are just many of the reasons why investing in Chinese companies has become a real and unique threat. What can individuals in West Virginia, the residents of our great state, do to help protect themselves and their retirements and their pensions and from these financial threats? And so please, Kevin, if you would, and you've probably already given us a whole bunch of advice already, but I didn't have the liberty to be able to be here to hear it, but please tell us more wisdom.
Well, I just feel that if the initiative and the incentive from these hearings and with other members is to enforce existing laws as they stand, we will end up in a much better place in terms of our relationship with China, because they are a large economy, we are larger, and there's a chance to work all this out. I might add that while we've been sitting here, my phone's been lighting up. The market's up 3,000 points. Because what's occurring here is the tariff situation with the rest of the world, although chaotic, is getting organized. It seems that way. 69 countries coming to the table, and maybe we end up with zero tariffs. I don't know. China is not the same. It's not the same. We have to resolve the issues we have been talking about here today as part of the negotiation. I don't care if we get to 400% tariffs on China. The only thing I care about is getting them to the table to resolve these issues, to make it safe for every American to invest there or do business with them, including in West Virginia. And you know, this is changing by the hour, but now I'm starting to see what's happening, and so is the market too. The world is one thing, China is completely different. Tariffs are being used to get them to the table to level the playing field finally, and all of us that are involved in dealing with this and competing with it applaud it. I can assure you, I'm the voice of millions on this that have been doing business there. And something else West Virginia can do that I think is going to be coming into the highlight pretty soon as we get into this AI competition with China. There are very few states or locations in America or Mexico or Canada that have as much stranded natural gas as West Virginia has. And that's pure gold for AI. Now, I can speak to you as, you know, in working with your government, you move permits quickly for that Prime 6 plant you spoke of, and that's why it's happening so fast. Do the same thing in AI development. Allow companies to come there, tap the stranded gas, bring in the turbines, build the facilities, and light up AI. You can't do that right now in Virginia because of the rules and regulations. We're not allowing gas turbines to work in conjunction with diesel backup generation. And so the sites in West Virginia become prime real estate now for AI. You will transform your state's economy by embracing energy because we don't have enough in America. And you have senators there, and there's lots of other people in your government in West Virginia that understand this opportunity is huge. It's absolutely huge. Demand is insatiable. You got to tap that and move at the same speed you did, and I'm just one investor in West Virginia. It was a winner state because you got stuff done, and everybody has to hear that message.
All right, thank you so much, and thank all of you.